Hey everybody. I'm here today to talk to you about something I'm super excited about, which is these new photopolymer grip mats. I freaking love these things, and I'm super excited about all the techniques that I have in mind to do with these. They come in a bunch of different sizes, but what really excites me is the fact that two of them are specifically made to fit the Misty. So one fits the original Misty, and I have it permanently in here. It replaces the foam. So you can put this grippy mat in there. You can take the foam out, and you can use it sort of like a sticky mat and a foam combined. It has a really nice crisp edge that makes it go into the Misty really well. It sticks to both sides. You can see the guides through the grip mat on the Misty or on your glass mat or whatever surface you decide to put it on. But that is just one of the features. I watched a little intro video on these, and I'm so excited about all the possibilities. I'm just going to show you one of them today, and then I'll do some more videos on techniques for them. So I'm just going to put this on my glass mat. It stays put, which is fantastic. It sticks to my cardstock because it's made of photopolymer. I mean, one of the things you know about photopolymer stamps is they stick to your cardstock. So why not just harness that and make something amazing out of it? Like something that holds your cardstock and your stencils perfectly still. Now I'm using one of the smaller ones, but these go up in size. There are many, many sizes. So if you have even a larger one, you can stick more of the stencil down. But I wanted to show you that even just sticking the edges of the stencil down, hold it super tight while you are ink blending. You can also just stick your die cuts directly on here for ink blending, which I'll do in a little bit. And you can go to town and not worry about your stencil moving. So I just think this is genius idea. And I think there are going to be a lot of things that I haven't thought of that people are going to do with this. But the fact that they already have every size that you could possibly want is super exciting to me. So you can see that this smallest version, I think this is the smallest one, if not, it's the second smallest one, has plenty of room for you to stick a normal 6x6 stencil onto and just hold it in place. I'm not touching this at all. And I'm just going to put some little hexagons down. I'm just using the primary colors here. So I have some Dragonfruit ink from Concord and Night. And I'm going to be using a Gina K yellow and a Hero Arts blue to complete this design. Now, when I am using the same stencil to create an overlapping pattern, so I'm using multiple ink colors like I am here, my favorite way to clean the stencil is with alcohol because it dries instantly. So I just spray it on a cloth and wipe off the ink with it. It dries right away. You don't have that. I know y'all know what I'm talking about, where you have a wet stencil that you haven't gotten all the water out of, and then you put it down on your project and then it ruins something that you have dye ink on. So just get yourself some alcohol and clean it off when you're doing techniques like this. So now I'm just kind of overlapping this. There are a variety of patterns that you can do with this stencil, and there's a companion stencil with smaller hexagons. I'll link to those in the supply list. But you can just overlap these any way you want, and I wanted to use primary colors because we're so used to seeing hexagons in just yellows and browns that I wanted something fun for a little like birthday celebration card. So I thought I would use the primaries. And to me, this Gina K ink color is a great primary. That Dragonfruit is a great primary. And then Summer Sky by Hero Arts is a great primary. So this is a very common combination for me. So I will pull that off and clean it, and we will move on to the blue. For this section of the design, I will just put it above the pink line. So the pink line was kind of like my center line that I was going to hang these other things off of. But the way this stencil works, you can just kind of keep going and fill in all the spaces. So you can have a full card front if you want to. I will add the blue, and wherever it overlaps with the pink, you're going to get a little purple. I spaced it up a little bit so it's not really overlapping the yellow that much, but it is overlapping the pink. You can just shift this a little bit and make it completely overlap. It's very versatile. These repeating designs are really, really versatile. So whenever you find a repeating stencil like this, just get it. Because there's a lot more that you can do than just rows of hexagons when you have things like this. You can make really intricate patterns. So I love it. And look how stuck down that stencil is. I love it so much. So here you can see the gap between the blue and the yellow that I was talking about. It gives me a little pop of white space. And if you wanted to, you could also add this second smaller stencil. You could overlap. I mean, there are just a bunch of possibilities. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video is about my camera constantly slipping down because I didn't have it adjusted right. So sorry about that. Anyway, so now you can take your die cuts and place them on the grip mat. Little tiny bees. So cute. And then you can ink blend on them. You could color on them. You could just use the grip mat to keep track of all your little tiny dies. So if you have, I'm big into the layering dies that make up flowers, or recently I did that one with the owl. And all those little parts and pieces, if you had a grip mat on your desk, you could just stick them on the grip mat and your cat would not knock them onto the floor. You would not knock them onto the floor. They would not get stuck on the back of your Misty, etc. You know where I'm going with this. Y'all are crafters. You've experienced all of these traumas that I'm talking about right now. So for these little bees, I will ink blend them directly on the grip mat. You know what else is cool about this? It's photopolymer. So it cleans with your photopolymer cleaner. It cleans just like your stamps. It's just a stamp. It's amazing. I do like the sharp edges though, I will say, because the foot of a photopolymer stamp isn't always like a straight edge. These are straight edges. This is one of the things that I really like about it being in the Misty. And you won't, because it's so grippy, if your cardstock is in the corner but maybe a little bit off, it doesn't matter because it's going to be stuck to the grip mat for your stamping. So I'm super excited about it if you can't tell. The second part of the bees is, I do not remember the color of this ink. Oh, it's honey mustard. Honey mustard, just to give a little bit of dimension to the side of the bees, just to kind of make them a little bit round looking. So there's a highlight in the middle of the bees. He's really tiny, so I got some ink under him and he's not sticking all that great. So I will just shade the other ones with this same honey mustard. By the way, this is a great combo for bees, for anything yellow. Just the wild dandelion and the honey mustard, they shade really well together. So I'll just add a little bit. There is going to be another die cut that's going to go on top of these. So you want to go kind of far in with your shading so that you see it, because the very edge is going to be covered up. So go a little bit farther in than you think you should. Aren't they the cutest? They are so cute. Okay, for the top layer of the bees, I'm going to use a marker to color these. I just die cut everything out of white because it was easier. And I'm just going to very quickly color these with an Ola marker that, again, the free flow of ink just makes this a lot faster than it does with any other marker. So I just color it. It's easier to just cut everything out of white cardstock and just quickly color it like this. But look how cute he is. There's also a little wing section that I'll show you that kind of tucks behind. There are two different kinds of wings in this die set, but these kind of tuck behind the bee and they're really cute. So here's the little smaller guy. Again, this goes really fast. So, and I like that they made it So that whole outline can be black because their antennae are black, right? But they layer on top of the yellow ones for stability. But this whole frame gives you the stripes and it gives you the black antennas. And so it's very easy to color these little bees. You could crank out a bunch of bees, which who doesn't want to do that? Monsters. That's who. The inside of their mouth and eyes, I have saved. I saved every little bit. You can stick those on a grip mat. And this is the little wing part that I cut out of silver glitter paper. And you can see how they just peek out from behind the bee. Isn't that cute? But anyway, save your little pieces, put them on one of the smaller grip mats. And then you can just color them right on the grip mat and then clean it off. But that way you don't lose any of your die cuts, which I think is just brilliant. So here is the finished card. I have a link below to all the sizes of the grip mats. I really hope you check them out because I'm enthralled, and I have many, many technique videos in my head that will be coming out soon with this fantastic new product. I love how people keep innovating. It's inspiring. Anyway, head over to my blog for more information, and thanks so much for watching.